Hello there YouTubers, my name's Nick and I'm going to show you how to do a restore from an iCloud backup today from your iOS device. Things you need: your iOS device, your Apple ID password, and your Apple ID, and a Wi-Fi connection. Simple as that. So first things first, what is the iCloud? The iCloud is a component from Apple that backs up your information on either your iPhone, your iPad, or your iPod. Now, it's important to know that you will get 5 gigabytes of data. 5 gigabytes is not a lot of memory if you think about it all together, seeing how the iPad, iPhone, and iPod start at 16 gigabytes worth of storage. So what does it back up? It'll back up photos, movies, songs, pictures, messages, you name it, until you reach that 5 gigs amount of data. When you hit that 5 gigs amount of data, you're out of luck, or you can buy more. You can get up to 1 terabyte. How do you know if you have an iCloud backup? The first things first is to go into settings on your iOS device. Settings is this gear looking icon right here. Tap on it. Once you're in settings, the first thing you want to look at is on the left hand side under Wi-Fi. You want to make sure you are connected to the internet. If you're in a place that has a spotty internet connection, you might want to wait until you get into an area where you do have a solid connection. On that left hand window pane, you're going to scroll down until you see iCloud. In there, you should be signed in under your Apple ID and password. Now, if you're not signed in, you're going to have to either create an Apple ID if you don't already have one, or retrieve your password. If you don't remember your password, you can go to iforgot.apple.com. There you will enter your email address that you believe is your Apple ID, answer some security protocols, and set a new password. So, in settings, when you go in there, you will find an area where you see the iCloud. It'll tell you how much storage you have available, and your backup. You want to make sure your backup is turned on, and in the backup window pane, towards the bottom where it says backup now, there will be a date and time of your last backup. I'm able to now erase this device if I'd like to and start over fresh with a new content backup. So, reasons for restoring from an iCloud backup. There are several reasons you might want to restore from an iCloud backup. You might have upgraded to a new device. You might have damaged your device and got it serviced at the Genius Bar as an Apple store, and they give you a replacement device that needs to be set up with your content. The good news is you can grab it back if you do have a backup. To go ahead and start the process of starting to restore your device from a backup, we'll begin with the first step, which is powering on your new device or your replacement device. Alright, when you get to this screen, you are ready to restore your iPod or iPad or iPhone. You have 3 options here. The first option, if this is your very first iPad or iOS device, you will set it up as a new iPad. You do not have any content saved yet, so it doesn't matter if you have an iCloud backup or whatnot. Your second option is the iCloud backup. So this would be for people that are doing upgrades. This is their second iOS device, and they want to bring the content from their first device over to their second device. The third one is a restore from an iTunes backup. In order for you to restore from an iTunes backup, you will need a computer with iTunes on it and your information backed up to that computer. But for today's purposes, we are going to restore from an iCloud backup. So select iCloud backup, put in your Apple ID, which is normally your email address. Putting my information in. So now my information is in, my Apple ID email address is on the top, my password, which is case sensitive, is on the bottom. And most likely all passwords have a capital letter, lowercase letter, a numeral, and it has to be at least 8 characters long. Once your information is properly signed in, you can hit next. It is going to reach out, connect to the cloud. To pull back your content, you have to agree to terms and conditions. If you want to read through all 36 pages, be my guest. For these purposes, I am going to just agree. So now it's registering my Apple ID with my iPad. And it should pull up the latest backup. You need to choose the latest backup for the iPad. This one says from today at 1:51 p.m. and it says Nick's iPad, this iPad mini, which the iCloud knows it was from this device right here. The other backups are from an iPhone and an iPhone 4S. If you want to pull your iPhone information over, you may. However, not all apps are designed for the iPhone that are for the iPad, so some of them might not come over. So I'm going to choose my backup from today, the latest backup, and it's going to restore all my content from the cloud. So all my photos, videos, messages, websites, emails, and all that content will be restoring. Now, depending on how much content you have, it might take a little bit of time. Just make sure you are connected to Wi-Fi during this process. And once this completes, we'll get back to your next. As you can see from the screen here, the iPad had updated completely successfully. And it has pulled my content through. Before I got to the screen, I did 2 power cycles to load the data back. So we're almost done, just a few more steps. Go ahead and click continue in blue. You're going to have to put in your password one more time. And it's going to update my iCloud setting. iMessage and FaceTime, if you want to be contacted at these addresses and numbers, go ahead and hit next. If you don't, uncheck the box. I'm going to leave mine on. And you are going to create a passcode if you want to make sure that nobody can get into your device. So I'm going to success. iCloud keychain is going to restore my passwords that I previously used. So I'm going to use my iCloud security code. It's going to send a verification to my cellular device where I will put in a password. And this is not my iCloud security code, this is just my verification code. And hit get started in blue. You can see my content is loading. There is a little circle, kind of hourglass looking symbol loading. Some apps have already come through. Some may take longer depending on how big they are and how much information they're storing. Now this should take about an hour to 2 hours depending on how much data you have. If you do come across any issues and things aren't reloading properly, you can start the process over by erasing the iPad and starting again and restoring from an iCloud backup. Or you can see a Genius at the Genius Bar at your local Apple store. Thanks for watching, YouTubers. This is Nick Young teaching you how to restore from an iCloud backup, and now you're in the know.